by the way. We're joined now by Kyler Staley. Kyler, how are you, brother?
I'm doing good. Speaking of Final Four, I'm in Houston right now, so a lot going on. But yeah, it's some exciting times, and it's really fun. The Final Four. You went from all blue bloods last year to total chaos this year, so it's exciting. It's one of the best weekends of the year. So just gonna enjoy it while I'm here.
Is this your first opportunity to be at a Final Four?
It is, yes. I never was able to go to any, ones that were in Indy. So obviously, I was very fortunate for my work to send me here, for the NABC coaches show, and just really blessed, to be able to go to the Final Four and get to witness this. So, the fan fest and everything's really cool to do. I know there's like a loaded slate today. I was looking at the fan fest schedule. A lot of D1 coaches are going to be here. From what I hear, Mike Woodson and Trey Jackson Davis should be here today. So we'll see if we see them around. But it's a really cool experience. Especially in the city of Houston. I've really liked this city. The past couple of days I've been here. Really cool town. The environment's really cool, especially when you got the Astros Stadium right next to all the Final Four festivities. So that going
Who was
on.
playing?
So
Who were playing last night? Correct.
yeah, they played the White Sox last night. Yep.
Yeah. I just talked to Rick Bozich, and he's a White Sox fan, and so. Yeah, he's usually at the Final Four. I'm surprised he's not. He is a Hall of Fame member of the United States Basketball Writers Association. But yeah, did you get to go to the baseball game?
I didn't. We looked at tickets. Obviously, tickets were crazy. Wouldn't be able to afford them, but we went around. Me and another coworker of mine went around, and we went to a few bars and stuff around here. So it's also a really good experience. Because everybody, it's a baseball town. It really is. They're diehard Astro fans around here. So just to get to experience that was really cool.
Well, no one cares about Houston Astros baseball listening to us right now. They want to know about Caleb Love and people like that. That's a name we haven't talked about yet today at all. I know that's someone who's on IU's radar and seems to be on Caleb Love's radar. That doesn't mean anything. He's on a lot of people's radar and vice versa. Playing for a team, coming off of playing for a team that had played for a national championship and then became the first preseason number one to not make the tournament. So obviously an experienced player there. I think that landing someone like Caleb Love would be nothing but great for Indiana because he is a next level player, which Indiana is basically devoid of. The only next level player that they had on the roster a week ago would be Xavier Johnson, and he's still returning from an injury, and potentially Malik Renew, who's still very young in his development. Which bringing in a Peyton Sparks, who was more experienced than Malik, and they're kind of similar players but different. Malik has a little bit of a shooting range to him. I don't think that Sparks does, especially when he gets to the free throw line. But yeah, Zach, they're not. I think they're going to bring in yet another big, but I think the one that they're looking for would be that guy that could ultimately stretch the floor a little bit as a big.
Yeah. Obviously, the portal, a lot to unpack with the portal. Starting, you mentioned Caleb Love first. Obviously, that'd be a huge splash for Mike Woodson. Caleb Love, he was needed. I don't know if he was ready to go to the NBA quite yet, but he definitely needed a change of scenery for him. Obviously things weren't working out with North Carolina. He needed to go away. I think when you look at it, Caleb Love could be looking at what Jalen Hood-Schifino's decision is. You could see him waiting. If Jalen's going to go to the NBA or not, if he's going to return, we don't know yet for sure. Obviously the talk is he's going to lean.
Yeah, let's put if percentages wise of him staying or going. For me, I'm saying it's 80-20 that he goes.
Yeah, I would probably go 70-30, the way I see it. So, but yeah, I mean, obviously, I would see Jalen's the type of player or where he's at right now, where he's been, predicted to go, in the first round. It's been, near the lottery. It's been, maybe towards the back end of the first round.
What's what's going to make be the deciding factor? Do you think?
I
Of
think it's the lottery. I think it would be if he goes to the combine, which was the point I was getting at. If he goes to the combine and gets a lot of feedback, I think that hey, you're a lottery pick. We really like you. You look at teams, in the back half, the 10 to 14 range. Those guys look at him and be like, hey, we really like you. I think he's staying in the NBA draft. I think he's the type of player that would declare for the NBA draft, considering where his stock is, but without signing with an agent and just keeping that flexibility that he has. So back to Caleb Love, I think he's kind of looking at that. Caleb Love's, he's a player where you're going to get the highs of highs with Caleb Love, and you're going to get the lows of lows. Looking at North Carolina, talking to a few North Carolina fans, that's exactly what they see with Caleb Love. He would be great, and then obviously, um, Indiana's looking at bigs. They got Peyton Sparks, which he's an Indiana kid. He grew up, being an Indiana fan. He hit the portal last year, but with Michael Lewis coming back, he wanted to have another chance to work with Michael, or he wanted to have a chance to work with Michael Lewis. And obviously, I think he decided he wanted to play at the highest level. After this year, so he entered the transfer portal as well. Once Indiana, made reached out to him again, it was a dream come true for him, and I think he understands what his role is going to be. For right now, he's going to come in. He's going to be that backup big. He's going to be probably the first big off the bench, depending on how that forward spot kind of shapes out. But he's a guy. He loves to pound it down low. He's an extremely high energetic center. He's got a great motor, and he's just a player that's really improved since his high school years. I remember watching him a few of his high school games, a few years ago, and just the amount of improvements that guy's made. His ability to get to the free throw line is outstanding. He's one of the best in the nation when it comes to that. So that's a great pickup from Mike Woodson, especially when you look at Peyton Sparks. He's got that's just a dream come true for him. And then obviously you look at another name is Caden Cedric from Virginia. Again, it's a player, it's a forward, it's a versatile forward. It's a rim protector that Mike Woodson wants. You look at Malik Renew. That's the typical stretch four. Guy that can play down low, the guy that can shoot. That is your typical, big. That your power forward that Mike Woodson's been recruiting. That's who he wants in his system. And Cedric, he's got a jumper, and it's a respectable jumper. You have to respect it if you're the defense. But he's going to make his damage. He's going to put his damage, around the defensive end. He's going to protect the rim. He's going to protect the glass, and he's, athletic enough to make plays around the basket on the offensive end. So that's another guy, needed a change of scenery, obviously. His time in Virginia, wasn't the best. I think he only averaged a little over 6 points a game this past season. So that's a guy, that can really come in. It provide major production for Indiana. It's not gonna make up for the production that Trace Jackson Davis had, but it's a start. It's a good guy you do fill in. Depending on what Mike Woodson wants to run. Obviously, it's gonna be more guard, wing heavy. These next for this foreseeable future. But Cedric, for what I hear, the conversations have went well with him. I think they're gonna work on on a visit, an actual campus visit. Right now is the dead period with the NCAA tournament going on, but those are just a few names that Indiana fans should really keep a lookout on. And they should be excited for what Mike Woodson's doing. They're attacking the portal very very hard, and they're looking to fill a lot of voids that obviously they have to fill this upcoming season.